have. I heard so far that you have a lady and she lives in Pennsylvania. That's what I heard.
Yes.
Right.
You hear me now?
Now I hear you much better.
She's been married to this guy for like 9 years.
Then she's in Pennsylvania.
But she never filed any paperwork. You know?
Right.
She's from the island.
Mm-hmm.
And but she, I guess she went to an attorney and they're telling her, well, she should get a divorce and then they could start some papers for her. So
Okay.
I wanted to know what would be your advice as far as that's concerned.
I never heard of getting a divorce to start papers. That's a new one to me.
Exactly.
You can do one of two things. I mean, if you're married to a guy for 9 years, he either files for you. These are your three choices. Okay, he files for you. If you're an abused spouse, you get rid of him and file as an abused spouse. Alternatively, if you're neither abused nor with him or he wants to help you, at that point, I guess you would get a divorce, but it's not get a divorce to get a green card. It's get a divorce and fall in love with somebody else who does want to help you. But there's no such thing as get a divorce and you can get a green card. There's an abused spouse case. There is your spouse files for you, or you get a divorce and marry somebody else that you can fall in love with.
Right. But if the guy says, well, okay, now I'll do it for you. I want to file for you now. I still want to just
Well, by
the situation.
Yeah, by all means he can do it, but they still got to prove they live together in a bona fide marriage.
Okay.
Okay, so if they're not together in a bona fide marriage, then it's not worth doing. If they're together and they were just lazy or didn't get around to it, then by all means do it now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I guess they kind of moved. She's in New York. He's in Pittsburgh. So
Right. So then I guess the lawyer's saying get a divorce because he's not no help to you, and you have to find a new way. But it's not just get a divorce and that's it.
Oh, okay. I see.
All right.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi.
Can I speak to the lawyer?
You're talking to him live on the radio right now.
Oh. Yeah, I filed for my father.
Right.
And he received a date to come in the 29th of this month.
Right.
But he's telling me that we send in all the affidavit and everything to Texas. Him say I must still send a copy down to him in Jamaica.
Well, that's
when I'm going to do the interview. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, it's helpful, but I mean, they should have all the records right there in the file. So if you want to give him a copy, you want to give him a copy because it makes him feel more comfortable to walk in with it, so he knows what's in there. That's the only reason he needs it. That way he feels more comfortable that he knows what was put in that affidavit of support if they ask him any questions. But in terms of does he have to submit a copy of the affidavit of support to the embassy? No, they already have a record of it.
Oh, so he can just go in because he did it medical and everything already, and I tell him don't need
you don't need
carry
it,
anything.
But what it will be is though maybe it'll just make him feel more comfortable and more at ease. And sometimes when you're not at ease, you look like even though you have nothing to hide, you look like you're trying to hide something, and then all of a sudden the officer starts grilling you. So maybe if it just puts him more at ease, send it to him, but he doesn't need to submit it to them.
The next thing.
Yes.
I don't have to send in 2010 tax.
No, not yet.
W-2?
Well, the W-2 you should have received already. So if you have the W-2, let him walk in with the W-2.
But
okay, but your tax returns.
I didn't do the filing. I never filed tax return yet on it.
That's
so
right, because it's.
Some.
Yeah, you just have to give the W-2. You don't have to give and he doesn't have to submit it to them unless they ask for it, because your taxes for 2010 are not due for another month.
Okay.
Okay, I haven't done my taxes yet either.
Right.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
I'm good. My question is EB3.
Yes.
My priority date is March in 03.
Yes.
I would like to know if I can go ahead and file for my I-485 now.
March of 03. What country are you from?
Yes. Trinidad.
Trinidad. The answer is as long as you are in legal status, you can file for your adjustment.
Okay. So there's nothing in my way, I think, right?
Nothing.
The I-140 has been approved. Labor certification has been approved.
Are you in legal status right now?
No.
Oh, you're out of status.
Yes.
Okay. So then, what's in your way is 245I. You need Section 245I to be eligible to adjust if your priority date is after April 30th, 2001, which means you need it to have been in the system previously. Okay, so
what can I do now? I mean,
do you have a mother or father here?
no, I don't.
No. Did your mother or father ever try to get a green card before?
No.
No. Have you ever tried to get a green card before?
No, this is my first time.
Okay, what you have to do is wait for the laws to change. That's what's in your way. That's what's in your way, unfortunately.
All right, then.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sorry about that.
How long when your stepdaughter filed for you? What time period you have to wait?
If your daughter files for you, your daughter's a U.S. citizen, and your daughter files for you.
Yes, my daughter is a U.S. citizen.
And you came here on a visa, she would be filing an adjustment application for you. It'll take about 4 months to get a green card. And if you're not sure how to do it or how to handle it or you have questions, just give me a call.
Right. I have question for you.
Okay, one more question. Okay.
My stepdaughter filed for me. I filed my paper from May of last year, and I haven't received my green card.
Okay, well then
my interview was September 7th.
Well, something is wrong. So I would suggest you come in. Something is definitely wrong. So I would suggest.
Let me tell you what happened so far.
Mm-hmm.
I went for my interview September 7th,
Mm-hmm.
and I forgot my I-130
Mm-hmm.
on the table. And I take it back over there to her September 28th, and she received it. And from that time until now, I haven't heard anything.
Okay. As I said, something is wrong. It's been 6-8 months now. I think you need the help of a lawyer. So give me a call, 1-800-522-0804, and we'll get into it for you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
My brother moved to the States. His wife filed for him and his 4-year-old daughter. 3 months after he got to the States and started working, she put him out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
He moved into a domestic shelter. Now what happened is that in a domestic shelter, if you're working, what they do is that they help you to get an apartment and they pay a portion of the apartment, of the rent.
Right.
Is it okay for him to, with a green card, to take the assistance?
Absolutely. And then if the government, because the wife filed an affidavit of support, it's for the government to go after the wife for that money. But he's perfectly fine. Wife signed an affidavit of support to support him. So if she's not, the government supports him, and that's perfectly fine. The government, if they choose to, can turn around and go after the wife.
And that won't affect his citizenship?
Absolutely. Absolutely not. He has a permanent green card, not a 2-year, correct?
Yeah, because he came with it, so he got a 10-year.
Okay. Yeah, no, you can do his citizen. He has to wait 5 years, but he can do his citizenship.
Perfect.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Brad.
Good afternoon.
My situation is similar to your second caller. I'm a citizen with 5 years. 5 years. I'm in the country 5 years, and I'm a citizen since last year, August. I filed for my wife in Jamaica, and she's case is now at the embassy. But before we filed that DS-230 form, we stated that we want to bring my child, my last kid. But they sent me a letter that there's no derivative.
No, there wouldn't. There's no. You have to file a separate I-130 visa petition for that kid.
Okay, there's no way. Otherwise, why
did I tell the second caller one thing and you something else? Number one, in order to derive citizenship directly from you, the child would have had to have been born while you were a citizen. And at that point in time, you would have had to have proven that you lived in the United States legally for 10 years prior to that birth, which you just told me you didn't. So he doesn't derive citizenship directly from you, no matter when he was born. Now, when you file for your wife, you don't get to include children on that application. You have to file separate I-130s for each person you want to bring in when you're a U.S. citizen filing for a wife and children. So you would be filed one I-130 for a wife, a separate I-130 for each child. Once the child enters the United States with a green card and that child is under 18, that child would automatically become a U.S. citizen. But that child is not a U.S. citizen until they enter the United States with a green card. That's just the way the law works. In the second caller's case, because the child was born to a U.S. citizen, and that U.S. citizen lived in the United States for 10 years prior to the birth, that child is an automatic U.S. citizen. You don't have to file for that child's green card.
Okay.
Okay, so
What if he's here, how are we gonna do the paperwork with the mother here and the child?
It's two different cases. You file one whole case for the mother. You file a separate whole case for the child. It's as if it's just two different universes.
Yeah, but what happened right now? The case with my wife. I filed the petition with my wife before the kid was born.
Right.
And the case is inside the embassy now for an interview.
Right.
How can I negotiate that?
You got to file an I-130 now, and then hold off on the wife coming until you get the I-130 approved for the kid, and then let them both go in together, unless you want the wife to come up and leave the baby behind with somebody.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
All
right. So get on with filing that I-130 right away.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks so much.
I have a friend. He married twice, but he married with his wife before. Have a child, live with his wife, and then his wife going through trying to get his paper, and then his wife did stop the paperwork. There's any way he could find another way of doing it, because he have proof that he live with his wife and also have kids with his wife?
And the only way to do it is based on abuse, and if he wasn't abused by his wife, either physically or emotionally, then he would have to find another way.
Even though he have a child with her?
Even though he has a child with her.
Okay. Next question.
Yes.
Now he already remarried.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and going through and have another application in. How long does it take normally to get a work permit?
90 days.
90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if it take longer than 90 days, what? It's a problem or something?
It should. Immigration by regulation is supposed to mail you a work permit within 90 days. It doesn't mean they always follow it down to the T, but you should get it within 90 days. If you don't get it within 120 days, then there's an issue, and you should go check into it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to find an immigration question.
Yep, you're on the radio. What's up?
Okay. My brother came here, right?
Mm-hmm.
About 8 years ago, and he came here undocumented, but he's here, but he has a tax ID number. He's working, paying tax and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything can be done that he can get himself sorted out, that he can get his paperwork?
Your brother came here undocumented. He has a tax ID number, you said?
Yeah.
If he came undocumented, the only way to sort yourself out is to have been grandfathered under the old Clinton law prior to April 30th, 2001. If he's grandfathered, then there's things you can do. If he's not grandfathered, you just got to wait for the law to change.
Okay. And when you say grandfather, what's the
meaning that you had something filed in the system prior to April 30th, 2001.
Oh, okay, prior to that time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there is going to be a law that's going to be changed pretty soon or something?
I don't know. I guarantee no. The laws may never change, but I'm hopeful that they will, and I believe they will, but I can't guarantee you that. I can't imagine.
Okay.
I can't imagine that they're going to allow people to live here illegally for their entire lives and never be able to get a green card. I would find that hard to believe. So I'm sure it eventually will change.
Okay, so even if you're working and paying taxes,
even if you're working and paying taxes, makes no difference.